Yeah.
Why don't men ever make the first move anymore?
Because women want to be men.
No, we don't.
Well, you're so hyper-focused on being a man that men don't want to approach you anymore. It's gross. Men don't care about your independence or high-flying status. We want peace, not chaos that you bring with competition of trying to be better than what we are. We don't offer any value to you anymore if you can have whatever it is that you want. So, if you want to be approached by a man, then you need to learn how to be a woman.
Damn.
I'm gonna rank how mad I would be if another woman called my man these names. No, we're done. We're done.
And people love saying that marriage is not important until you're in a real life situation where you don't even have the right to make a decision. Let me give you an example. My parents have been married for 30 plus years. They get married in the 90s. They end up getting pregnant with my sister. My mom ends up having preeclampsia. If you don't know what preeclampsia is, that is high blood pressure during pregnancy. It is very dangerous. You and the baby, or you and the baby can, okay? My mom ends up blacking out close to birth. Not even. Before birth, she was early. My sister was a preemie. But anyway, my mom ends up blacking out, unconscious, doesn't know of her existence, turns charcoal black. The doctor says, "Sir, we can only save one. Please sign here." My dad says, "Try to save both, but here you go. Quickly." And do you know why my dad had the right to do that? Because that was her husband. Correct. Instead of in-laws, aunts, uncles, nieces, and nephews, and neighbors coming in to make a decision for my mom and something that she probably didn't want anyways. But marriage is not important. Marriage is not important until you're in a real life situation where you cannot make decisions.
And that's the man protecting the woman, protecting his interest. But modern women today don't want protection. So y'all probably won't even see this. So this conversation probably not even for y'all.
I had to tell old girl I fuck with her. Like, I like her a lot. Like, I fuck with her crazy. Just not enough to not for other people. You at the top of the list, but not enough for me to give up the streets. I'm sorry. I just got started. I just got in the game. You think I'm finna put the jersey in the rafters now? Please.
The other day I reposted a video how this guy was pretty much saying men do not approach women because women ruined it. So I agree. Women have ruined it. From my perspective, I feel like the 20-something-year-olds have ruined it because they're the main ones, especially on this app, that get on here and say they do not want men approaching them in public. And then you will literally see like 33, 34, 35 plus getting on here saying, why don't men approach us anymore? Like when I go out, there's nothing but women. And if there are men, they don't come and talk to me, blah, blah, blah. It's because the 20-year-olds ruined it. They ruined it. And honestly, and we won't even put an age on it, I feel like the same people that get on here and complain and don't want men approaching them in public places are the same ones that get on here and complain about horrible Hinge dates. As someone, if a man approaches me in public, I talk. That don't mean I gotta marry him. I'm gonna have a conversation. I also have never had an issue with Hinge dates. Hint.
Okay, so I saw this very long post that said, me explaining that most beautiful women are chronically single because most men fantasize them, put them on a pedestal only to realize they're human beings with feelings in depth. In the moment that happens, the pretty girl fantasy of pulling her wears off. Here's the thing. This literally does not make any sense. It's like you're trying to say most beautiful women are single because men can't humanize them, but for some reason, like unattractive women, men can humanize them. Like, do we really think that's the case? Like, I feel like people in general, like in regards to just like people, like human beings, when they're dating somebody, sometimes they have hard times humanizing people. Like, I've been in situations where I'm talking to a young lady and it's like, oh, wow, like, you don't think I'm a person. Like, you're not thinking about my feelings, not thinking about how your actions could hurt my feelings. Like, that's just a thing that people do. Like, honestly, attractiveness has nothing to do with it. I think you're saying beautiful girls because you want to make yourself feel better for being single, but like, that's just not the case. Like, you're coping, okay? Like, you're not single because you're too beautiful. You're single because you can't find anybody who wants you and treats you the way that you want to be treated. And mind you, it's like, these are theories that you come up with by yourself. And again, if you're coming up with a theory by yourself of what somebody else thinks, chances are it's literally just you coping with the situation. And what made this really click for me is I looked in the comment section, see a bunch of people agreeing. They're like, oh yeah, this is what goes on with me. This is what goes on with me. Clicked on their profiles, not the most beautiful. So it's like, I know that's not it. Okay. I know your beauty is not the reason that you're single, because some of you don't have it. As much as everyone wants to sit here and pretend like they're a good person, people struggle with empathy naturally because you're you and I'm me. So it is naturally hard for people to put themselves in someone else's shoes. So you say somebody like, oh, like this hurt me, like this hurt my feelings. It's going to be hard for them to understand just by the nature of what people are. Don't let all this fake social media, like, oh my gosh, I care so much about other people, like convince you that like people care about other people, because truly they don't. Like this generation's version of activism is like making one TikTok about something and calling it a day. Like people don't actually care about anything. Okay. Like this is, social media is one long game of like people pretending that they care about things and who can pretend that they care about things the most. So naturally, people are going to struggle with empathy. Okay. It's been like this since the dawn of time. Like if you think people are getting done dirty now, think about how people were getting done like hundreds, thousands of years ago. Like I promise you, your struggles and your strife doesn't happen because you're attractive. You don't attract bad partners because you're attractive. That wouldn't make any sense. You would think you being so attractive that they would like want you so bad and that they would want to do anything to please you, but they don't. So what does that tell you? Like, can we listen to the signs? Can we look at the signs? I'm just saying, okay? Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying. But also I do want to say, okay, there are some people, some people who've grown up with pretty privilege all their life, not necessarily the best at being held accountable. And I'm ending the video with this because I know it's not true for everybody. There are some situations where it's like you act maybe irrationally, okay? And you think that's okay because people have let you get away with that your whole life because you're pretty. Like people like that. That is a beauty thing. Like, oh, why isn't this person letting me get away with this unreasonable thing? Usually it always happens. It happens because you're attractive and people are okay with that. Like I've been in so many situations where it's like, oh yeah, like no guys had a problem with this except you. And it's like, okay, like they probably like didn't care about anything that you did because you're attractive. But when you find someone who's not just going to yield to you in any situation because you're attractive, that's when like these things start to happen. Okay. So I'm not saying that's the case like in this instance, but it can be the case. Again, look inwards. A lot of people don't want to do that.
Men will never really know you and they'll hurt you, but women will know you deeply and then they'll hurt you. You tell me.
Somebody in the comments say Jeanette McCurdy know too much and been through too much for real.
Alright, baby, I'm heading out for the girls' night that I told you about.
Okay, have fun, be safe. Keep your location on so I can make sure you're good.
Okay.
Bye. Alright, bye. Have fun. I'm gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too.
Ready to go?
Yep. You got everything?
I'm so hungry. Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Whoa.
What?
Okay, guess we don't have to dress up at all.
I just want to be comfortable tonight. You have your wallet?
Yeah, I got my wallet.
Okay, so I'm not bringing my purse.
Oh, I'm paying?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just like always.
Can somebody explain to me why it is so hard to go to a sports bar to find actual seating to possibly meet a man who's going to buy me a drink?
Buy your own drink.
Let me know. My friend and I have gone to 3 different bars.
And let me just say this. If a man is approaching you and that's not the man you want, you have something about you that makes him confident enough, feeling like he can get you. So it is you. It is you. You have to accept your part in this. Hey, that's good lighting. I want his car to stay there. But anyways, it is in you, okay? So that's one thing you have to accept. He feels like there's something in your energy that he can access. So no matter if you screenshot it and make fun of him, trust me, I've been there. I thought it was all cute and I would kiki about this. But at the end of the day, I was allowing that. I was accepting that this man thought that he could get me because I would entertain it. I would entertain his energy. For what? If I don't want it, then I'm going to ignore it. And that rings true with everything else outside of relationships too. If I don't want that in my reality, I'm not going to give it my attention or my energy, because the more you put your attention, it's going to manifest bigger. I don't care for it, so I ignore it, okay? When I met my man, I wasn't talking to men. It was... No, not even in my view. And that's why God knew I was ready for him. You understand? So if you are accessible to these people, if you can't just block them, if you're like, that's weird. If your first idea is to post it, it's in you. Okay? You are getting some sort of gratification, satisfaction, validation, whatever Asian you want to call it. You are receiving that. Okay? That's a talk that you have to have with yourself and with God. Or you can ignore it. This is for somebody. I don't know. I feel like I have to say it, so I'm saying it. I'm not naming any names. I'm not pointing the finger. If it rings true, then it's for you. Put it in your pocket. Read it tomorrow. Read it on Sunday. I don't give a damn. But don't shoot the messenger.
Why do we have to do the work? Ain't worth it. Now, if you're wondering what this comment is all about, you're thinking like, you know, maybe something is unfairly skewed. Is he talking about like a project where he's like digging ditches and doing like the back-breaking stuff? No, this is about dating. This is about dating. Specifically, I gave some tips and tricks on how to approach a woman that you want to pick up, that you see that is nice looking. You know, a stranger, how to approach in the wild so that you're not creepy and so that you're not off-putting. And that's too much work for this person. It tickles my funny bone. How many men out there don't want to do the work? I mean, at least he's admitting it. I love that. And all of us, thank you, sir, whatever your name is. Some men, definitely some men, just expect that they can roll up and be like, I'm here. I have arrived. How many of you want me? Don't all of you come and chase me down at once? And they're looking around and they're like, no, not all of you at once. No, stop. And there's no one there. This is not the deal that they signed up for. Buddy, if you want a woman, you got to do some work. And here's the thing. If you don't want to, don't. But don't complain about being lonely and that the women don't want you and that they're going for the Chads and the Brads and the top 10%. The top 10%, if they don't have looks, they got game. And I can promise you, with this comment, you ain't got game.
I'm going to read a comment from a guy right here, and I'm not going to say his name, but I'll read it. It said, it's ironic. I don't mind putting in the work. I like to open doors and be polite. I pride myself on it. I don't mind paying for the first date. I was getting no dates, so I worked on myself. Lost weight, got promoted, started dressing better. I still struggle with dating. I struggle hard, and I fail a lot. I'm still trying to improve myself. I'm yet again taking another hiatus. Anytime I get frustrated, I'll walk away from trying for a few months. Then I had some health issues, and now I'm struggling to mentally get back into dating. Wow, sorry about that. I feel like a real loser and failure. I don't know if I'll ever get it right. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. I feel like every failure is my mistake and that I did something wrong. I don't blame women. I don't feel entitled. I'm in therapy trying to work through my issues, but I just don't know anymore. I know that I don't want to use apps. Not all of us that fail do so from a lack of effort. Some of us just fail. Trying to change my mindset, that's been the hardest part. I'm sorry for the long response, but I had a lot to say. Listen. Let's see what they say. Let me say this. This is what leads to his comment when he says, why do we have to do the work? It ain't worth it. Because if this man is doing mental health and all of this stuff, I'm losing weight. I got promoted. I started dressing better. Still struggle. I'm opening doors. I'm being polite. At some point in time, this is not all your fault. This is not all on you. At some point in time, it's the expectation that, oh, you got to meet me here and I'm not moving. I'm not coming down. You don't have anything. Okay. Well, if I'm coming up, and this is what men say, if I'm coming up there, what am I going to get when I get up there? And the response is you'll get just me, just my unique presence. You'll get me. Then all of the work that you're doing, my man, is in vain. It's for no reason, because you don't get anything. You get nothing from this type of woman. Nothing. So do it for yourself. If you want to lose weight and get promoted, do that for yourself. Because I'm guaranteeing you right now, once you get to the top of the mountain with women that sit up here and talk about all the wrong things that men do and never improve themselves, they have no self-awareness, you're going to be frustrated. You're going to be mad. And I'm telling you right now, before you get up there, it's going to be your own fault, because you're going to get up there and be like, man, you know what? You're a really nice guy. You look great. You're in shape. You know, you're promoted, but just not for me. And a lot of modern women are going to tell you that, because they think you're not going to be enough to them, because they're going to be comparing you to an athlete or some celebrity. And at that point in time, you'll never be enough, because you're an average man. You're a normal man, a man that works every day in the normal world. It's not your priority to work on your physique to the point of looking like a Captain America or a Black Panther. That's not my job. My job is to go out here and work in building or work in utilities, whatever it is. That's my job. I work out, I look good, but as far as all of these beauty products and stuff, that's not really me. So, yeah, man, I say do it for yourself. Don't get down on yourself, but make darn sure you're not doing it for these modern women.
I was talking to a psychologist on the weekend that I met at a wedding, and I straight out asked him, what's the number one reason marriages, relationship falls apart based on his experience. And obviously he wasn't going to share any specifics because he's a professional, but he did say that what he normally sees in heterosexual relationship, and the number one reason for their relationship falling apart, is the fact that the woman always wants the man to evolve and be an evolved person since she met him, but the man wishes the woman stayed the same, and he misses the woman he met when they first met. Isn't that interesting? Women want the man to evolve and be better. Men wishes the woman didn't change and was the same chick he met when she was, 20, 25. And that's what he sees being one of the main reasons relationships fall apart. And honestly, it blew my mind, because I actually think it's so factual.
See, I knew you were going to do that. I was hoping you didn't, but I knew you would. I knew you were going to frame it in the light of men are always the issue. Men always want a woman to stay the same, and women want men to evolve. But you're telling me that men just want the naive, dumb woman that they fell in love with, but, we want a man to grow and get better. Have you ever thought that maybe a man, when he meets you and he's like, this is the woman that I want to marry, why do you think that he says that? This is the best thing that I've ever seen. Like, she looks great. I love the way she treats me. Man, this is fantastic. Whatever you're doing, don't stop doing it. Like, keep doing it. Like, this is how I want to be treated. So yes, don't change that. This is fantastic. I love the way you treat me. That makes me want to go above and beyond to give you all of the things that you want. That's fantastic. Men don't see some dumb woman, like some idiot woman that they've come in contact with. They see one of the most prettiest women that they've ever seen, nicest, beautiful, caring soul that they've come across. Now, when you talk about, we want you to grow and get better in what way? What do you mean? How do you mean? Because a lot of times modern women mean get better in the way that I want you to get better. Do things how I want you to do it. I'm not really interested in how you feel in the direction that you want to go. I have this direction and this plan for our lives. And when you say, I really didn't see us going that way, here's the way I saw us going. You get mad at that and say, I'm not validating your feelings. I'm not listening to you. I'm manipulative. I'm controlling. I don't hear you out. I'm not communicating effectively. I'm not emotionally intelligent. I'm not emotionally mature. I'm not willing to listen to other perspectives and consider those. You say all of those things to gaslight me, but you want me to evolve. No, what you actually mean is do what I want you to do. Act how I want you to act. Be what I want you to be. You don't really want me to be who I am. You don't really want me to be myself. And I could even get with you if you said, well, I really want a combination because you married me. So I want you to figure out how to love me the way I want to be loved, right? So it's a combination of me understanding who you are and how you are and allowing you to be that. But then there's also a combination of you molding and changing yourself to fit who I am, because that's what you promised me. You said to me, okay, this is how I am, but I will love you. And if this is the way that you need to be loved, I will do my best to show you how love is, what love is. And that's a lot of change for me, but I'm still who I am. But if a man doesn't evolve the way you want him to evolve, how you want him to evolve, doing the things exactly verbatim, then it's a problem. I mentioned one of the fellas on the channel, 53, was making upwards of $150,000 a year. He was actually making more than that. You know, it was kind of a stair step effect to where he was in the kind of like I will say mid 100K and then jumping up past the mid 100K, right? And then when he was at home trying to take care of his wife and daughters, trying to load the dishwasher, she would stand over him or she would laugh at him. She would pick at him about washing the dishwasher or how he loads the dishwasher. And that's a common complaint for a lot of men. She would do that. So essentially, it's not, once again, evolving how you evolve and learning to do things. It's me sitting there picking at you until you do how I want you to do, until you change how I want you to change, until you be how I want you to be. And I knew you were going to do that. That's what I'm saying. Women like you got to be stopped.